So it's no secret that the Sacramento Kings have been nothing short of amazing this season, but some might even say they've surpassed expectations coming in at the 3rd seed in the West. With the likes of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis running the offense, it's no surprise that the Kings have had a ton of success on both ends of the floor. And among others, they have good floor spacing and a rookie who has the potential to become one of the best rookies in this draft class, and honestly, probably one of the top candidates to be the best overall. So in today's video, we're going to be explaining the success of the Sacramento Kings and what led to their success this season. So we'll get into it. Firstly, we have De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. So the De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis effect, with Fox facilitating the offense and Sabonis being the hub of screens on offense, you can imagine how easy it is for the offense to get going, with Fox being able to blow past his defenders and Sabonis being able to set some tough screens. It creates a lot of openings for the offense to score. They also have that patent dribble handoff. I mean, that's really their bread and butter on the offense, and really what it looks like is Domantas Sabonis being on the elbow, and, you know, guys like either Kevin Huerter or guys like Harrison Barnes or whoever, even De'Aaron Fox in the corner, they'll go into the corner, start cutting into the middle of the lane, and have Sabonis do a dribble handoff, give it to them, set the screen, and then either go in for a shot or go in for the layup, or even pass it to Sabonis and create kind of like a pick and roll instead. So that's really the bread and butter of this offense, because there's a lot of options you can do with that sort of offense. So with a guy like Sabonis running the dribble handoff, it makes shots from the outside a lot easier. He's really the only guy for this team that can run the dribble handoff. I mean, obviously, guys like Nikola Jokic, adding him to this team would be kind of like the same thing. But I feel like Sabonis, with his capabilities, it's definitely a lot better suited for this team compared to another center on, you know, say like the Dallas Mavericks with Christian Wood. I mean, it wouldn't really work. So, I mean, Sabonis being the center for this team is definitely saving them, and I feel like what he's able to do definitely fits with the team and what the offense is overall. So Sabonis complements Fox's game pretty nice, as well as Fox tries to get into the driving lane and Sabonis can fend off defenders with the dribble handoff. And I've seen it whenever they played the Houston Rockets. I mean, De'Aaron Fox would be a guy taking a lot of shots in the driving lanes, or even just taking up some mid-range pull-ups. And I think that's really what they want to do with him and Domantas Sabonis, basically. So now, secondly, we have the supporting cast. I mean, the dribble handoff wouldn't be possible at all if it weren't for the abundance of shooters on the team. We have guys like Kevin Huerter, who's shooting it at 39% from 3, Keegan Murray shooting it at 42%, Terrence Davis shooting it at 36%, and Harrison Barnes shooting it at 37%. So the supporting cast around the big two has definitely been built pretty perfectly, as spot-up shooters are the best supporting piece when it comes to pick-and-roll heavy offenses. So honestly, I think what they picked up in the offseason with Kevin Huerter, I think that pickup alone was actually a pretty good pickup. I would have liked for them to grab a little bit more shooters. I mean, a guy like a Malik Monk actually hasn't been too bad off the bench either, but he hasn't been shooting the 3-ball well as of late. I mean, even guys like Harrison Barnes, I know he's been pretty great for this team too, whenever he does score. But, I mean, this team overall, they definitely have a lot of pretty interesting pieces, and they acquired Kessler Edwards at the trade deadline too. So I think we're going to see a lot of pieces here pretty soon, are getting some minutes or not getting minutes at all. I think some pieces are being misused. I mean, I think Richaun Holmes definitely has a lot of potential to become a pretty good backup center, or even a good starting center at that. And, you know, I think this team overall, they definitely have a lot of good trade pieces. I think Malik Monk could be another trade piece for this team, depending on what happens and if he proves to be pretty valuable for this team. And, you know, guys like, I mean, maybe Metsu, I don't know, but I don't know. This team, they definitely have the pieces to win it overall this season, to win the chip, but I feel like there might be some competitiveness in the West, especially with guys like KD going to the Suns. I mean, there's going to be a lot of competition in the West, and we'll see how the Sacramento Kings basically fare up against those type of teams, because I think they could be a contender or a dark horse contender to become one of the favorites to win the championship this year. So we'll see what happens with the Kings. I think they do have a lot of potential. Now, finally, I do want to talk about their young talent on the roster. So currently, they just drafted Keegan Murray with the 4th pick in last year's draft and Davion Mitchell in 2021. So Davion Mitchell, although not having the best statistical season overall, he's a pretty underrated defender, as he's a very tough perimeter defender that does not give up. I mean, we've seen it a lot of times where Mitchell was able to guard the best player on the court, and even, you know, being a guy that can just move his feet pretty quickly. being able to just stay in front of his defender and not let them pass. So I think he might be a pretty important piece to this Kings future. Offensively, he's not there yet, but I think with a ton of development, and you know, he is on pretty early in his career, so I think with more development in the future, he's going to be pretty set for the future when it comes to developing his game. So adding in, you know, a three-point shot, adding in some basically offensive versatility, being a guy that can run the offense, I think he could be one of the best two-way players in the league if he can develop his offense overall. So now we have Keegan Murray, who also is a pretty interesting player, as he has a ton of potential to become a great player in this league, specifically with his three-point shot, as he's knocking them down at a 42% clip. And pretty insane to think about that he's also on pace to break the all-time rookie record for most threes made in the season. Previously, it was held by Donovan Mitchell, or it is held by Donovan Mitchell. So once Keegan Murray breaks it, I mean, he's going to be the all-time rookie for the most threes made in the season. So that's going to be great to see. Murray over the season, he's had highs and some lows, but as a rookie, he is developing fine as he's on a contending team. To be specific, he's actually helping this team win in his rookie year, which doesn't really happen too much. I mean, the Sacramento Kings last season, they were pretty horrible. Everyone thought that they were going to trade the 4th pick for some more supporting pieces on the team, which would have been smart. And, you know, I personally thought they should have traded the pick to get some more pieces, but looking at it now with Keegan Murray on the team and him providing at least some sort of light for the future, I think his skill sets for the Sacramento Kings are definitely going to be something they're going to use in the future, especially with him being able to take the keys to this team. I think Keegan Murray, he's going to be a huge piece to the Sacramento Kings future. Davion Mitchell off the bench could be a guy that can lead the second unit, and both these guys, and adding alongside some other pieces, I mean, the Sacramento Kings are still a pretty young team. De'Aaron Fox, he's only around 25 years old, and Domantas Sabonis, he's only 26. So the future is bright for this team, and come 2 to 3 years from now, they might be a pretty solid team in the West to look out for. So they finally also got out of purgatory, which is something that they've been in for a couple seasons now. They traded Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton last season to clear up some space, and they got an actual center in Domantas Sabonis. So they basically cleared up some roster spots to fill in some spots that they needed on the team, and with Sabonis on the team, it definitely filled in a lot of holes that were missing. So overall, the Sacramento Kings are in prime position to win the West, as they are currently at 32-25 over the season. We're only halfway through the season, so we'll see what happens with the Kings, but I do have them going a bit farther in the playoffs, and maybe even the Western Conference Finals, depending on how the team performs overall. I think De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis should be able to at least lead this team to the second round, and with what they are right now, they definitely have a pretty solid core to win at least one chip, hopefully, in the future. I think with a little bit more help and a little bit more offensive ability, we'll see what happens with this team, but I think they're definitely set for the future. So that's the end. I'm JDC, and out.